I got the name John The Poacher from a friend of mine, Greg. I was walking past a pub one day with a huge rainbow trout hanging from my hand. He just called me Poacher, and then from there on it stuck. I don't do a lot of poaching now. I mean, I used to go and help myself to pheasants and rabbits off people's lands when I didn't have permission. But it's a dangerous game. Twice I've been shot. Shotgun first time round, and then second time I got shot with shotgun loaded with rock salt. Yeah, that one hurts. Got shot in the arse twice. Growing up in Hackney was quite interesting because the area that I live in is very close to the marshes and the rivers, so there was lots of opportunity to go fishing and getting into wildlife. My dad and my granddad used to take me fishing, but then meeting this group of boys, we used to go fishing together. It was whilst out fishing that we met this Irish guy that later on taught me how to snare the rabbits, and then got really into it and started reading books and learning about the mushrooms and the plants and tracking animals. So, yeah, turned it into a bit of a hobby, and then later on in life it's turned into a job. I make a living from foraging by collecting unique produce that people want. I collect food for cafes and restaurants. I go out catching rabbits, and then I sell the rabbits on to people. I also run a barter system, so I can go to my local pub. When it's the cheese night, I can hand over a couple of rabbits, and then that pays for my samples of cheese. In London, because you've got the parks and the marshes, you've got so many different micro-habitats. Just in one small area, you can quite readily fill up a basket within an hour. The amount of food that's about on the streets, from nut trees to fruit trees, it's all there. And it's funny watching people go to the supermarket to buy exactly the same thing they've just walked past. Best ways I find new spots is if I've got to go anywhere and I'm going to walk, I just keep doing different routes down different roads. When I get on the bus, I always sit by the window and I just look and I scan all the trees and all the grass spaces on housing estates and anywhere. You'd be amazed at what you can find.
253 to Hackney Central.
Hackney's changed a lot. The old places that I used to buy fishing tackle or hunting equipment have all sort of closed down now. You also got a lot more trendy food places coming up, which is good because we're really getting back into all the locally foraged and the wild food.
Any chance I can swap a couple of laps?
Oh, he has played golf. Bloody hell, he has as well. Oh, John.
There's two in there, it's really bad.
Thank you. So that's from Transylvania. That's from Somerset.
Great to eat seasonally because you're getting everything that's fresh, it's local, and it's at its best. By the time it gets to the supermarkets, you don't know how long it's been in transit, whereas if you can just walk down the street or on the marshes and go and pick something, it's within minutes and it's on the plate. I don't like being indoors. As soon as I'm in the park, whatever the weather, it's just nice. Got other places I go, and if I want to be on my own, I just head to those places and I'll be out miserable cold days picking mushrooms or hunting for rabbits. I mean, I use nature as a very big stress reliever for me.
People go on about roadkill. This is my Hackney equivalent to roadkill. Picking up the squirrels after the dogs have had them. That's the one. The one that's come down from the park, the dog's grabbed the squirrel. She's tried to call the dog off, but the dog's done enough damage to the squirrel that it's laying there injured with internal bleeding, and it's just going to suffer a long, lingering death. So if I see it, I come up, pick it up, knock it over the head, and then that's it done, pull it out of its misery. And then take it home easy. But it's nature, isn't it? It's like, if it wasn't, that woman's dog, it would have been possibly a fox or a cat or something would have done it. So, it's just how things are. They're the mushrooms we just picked with poached egg, parmesan, salad, and truffle oil. Yeah.
I mean, we've got so many dying crafts now. The thing I like about what I do is I like to make my own rabbit nets. I'll make all my own pegs for my snares. I can build most of my own traps. And it just gives you such a sense of achievement to keep these crafts alive. It is a sort of spiritual experience. You're out in the beautiful countryside and you've got a job to do. It's like, yeah, the animal's going to die, but you're treating it with as much respect as you possibly can.
You ain't going into it, rabbit.
There's going to be a lot of people that find this barbaric, but it's a lot better than factory farming. Okay, this rabbit's been chased out by a ferret, but it was born on that farm, it's died on that farm. I can't think of any better end, and I try to dispatch them as quick as I can.
Come on up, spread your legs.
People are disconnected from where food comes from. I mean, I've still got people that they'll get me to butcher the rabbit and they'll actually get me to debone it, so they just end up with a bag of meat. They know it's a rabbit, they just don't want it to look anything like a rabbit.
Cool. Get down, get your toe out.
You know, everyone keeps saying to me, oh, we admire what you do, but we couldn't do that. And it's like, well, I think anybody can be a forager. I mean, most of us are, in some way or other. Whether picking a few berries or a bit of rocket down the towpath or on the marsh. I'm not going to change. And if I ever lose the use of my legs, they're going to have to put in wheelchair access so I can get to the farm to go ferreting.